Hi, welcome to Beautifully Unbalanced. I hope you're having a great day. I'm a mom to three kids, 4 and 6-year-old boys, and medically fragile disabled baby. In today's video, I would like to talk about time management. This is very important topic in general when you have multiple kids, but also it is extremely important when you have a disabled baby in the picture. And the first point I would like to discuss is social media addiction. I know it has been covered a lot, and especially lately, it's thankfully people are more and more aware of it. However, I just want to talk about from my experience. So I always watched YouTube. I had more time before the baby was born. The disabled baby was born. So I watched YouTube every day for about 30 minutes before nighttime. And sometimes during the day. However, when the baby was born, I started actually watching it more, even though I had less time, but I wanted to know more about disabled kids because it was my first experience with the disabled baby. So I had to have more information. It did help me somewhat, but it probably made things worse for me. First of all, I was very discouraged from a lot of videos, and a lot of bloggers, they were covering, or YouTubers, they were covering more of a negative content instead of being more positive. There are some that covered positive as well, but it was very hard to find. So I was very absorbed into it. I was kind of addicted, and I found myself reaching out for the cell phone and just opening YouTube as soon as I have few seconds, for few free seconds. I was opening YouTube and just scrolling through it and looking for more YouTubers like this, even though they did not bring me a good emotion. So when I did realize this, and sometimes actually, going back, I was sitting with the baby, with disabled baby, and I was scrolling through social media. It is just so sad, makes me sad right now what I did, but I was very emotional at that point, and I just needed some kind of support, I guess. But when I did realize this, and it was just recent, not that long ago, a few months ago, that I have to decrease that YouTube, social media addiction. So I started putting a limit on my phone, like for the kids. I would put a limit on my phone, even though I know I can go and remove it, but it would still remind me, okay, it's time to stop doing it. And lately, I actually, as soon as I pick up the phone before the nighttime, I start putting it back, just so I kind of train myself not to look at it before nighttime at all. I do still watch some YouTubers about twice a week, which is in total would come up maybe to 30-40 minutes a week. Maybe it's a lot for some people. For me, it is super low comparing to what I had before, what I was watching before. So it did help that I was aware of it, and that when I started doing it, I actually realized how much time I have on my hands, and I start feeling more in peace. It's hard to explain, but when you are watching other people lives that you never even met in the real life, and you're not ever gonna meet them, you kind of and especially when the content is negative, you're or it's too good to be true, you're kind of comparing yourself to them, even though you don't even realize it. So I when I stopped doing it, I was instantly much more positive. I was much calmer. I had more time. I was much more engaged with my kids, which was a huge plus. So it really helps. So I encourage you to look at it and just to be first observe it and be aware how much you actually spend on social media. And then once you realize it, try to reduce it. Sometimes it's better to go cold turkey and just stop it completely, or sometimes it's good to reduce it, you know, slowly, gradually. If you do go cold turkey, you can always come back like a couple of weeks later and start doing a little bit, a few minutes at a time. So that's my advice for or at least advice from my experience for the social media. The second point of this video, it's in time management, is Pareto rule. As many of you have heard, or maybe not, the Pareto rule is basically 80% of the results are coming from 20% efficiency. So I can relate it in my work. For example, if I'm working on something in a spreadsheet and I need to finish it fast, I would concentrate and finish it, but I will not concentrate on making it perfect. I will just go through the work that needs to be done, and I know I need to submit, and I will not get stuck on certain things that are not going to bring me any really value. There is a time for that. There is a time to do the continuous improvement. And if you have, let's say, you know, some spare time, you can definitely think about it, work more on this specific formatting. But if you do need to finish your task fast, you have to just keep moving and keep working on actually finalizing it, but not on beautifying it. Another example is your house. When you come into the clean house, you usually come into the living room or the kitchen, let's say, and it looks very clean. However, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't mean that it's really deep clean prior to your arrival. So, for example, if you don't clean behind the sofa, when you come into the living room, you cannot really notice this. So it looks very clean. So usually I always recommend just tidying up, especially when we have disabled kids. We don't have much time on our hands. And even if we do have time, we want to spend it on other things, on our kids. We want to make more therapies with them. We want to spend more time with them. We want to invest that time in our kids rather than cleaning constantly. So this is just our advice from our family to others. So basically, try to concentrate on the tasks that bring you that 80% results, and don't try to be perfect in everything you do. And I know you can get kind of sucked into it. You start cleaning, you start cooking too much, and but just concentrate on those 20% that will bring you to 80% results. I'm gonna keep this video a little short because I have a baby in my arms right now and she is a little hungry. So I hope you found this video helpful, and give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Bye.